Okay, welcome to the first part of Mission 5 of my playthrough and lore discussion of Dishonored. I think I can get through this in 2 videos, we'll see. I won't spend too much time here, just to once again plug my book. My novel, The Heron King's Rampant, is out now, Gaslamp Fantasy Action Adventure. If you like Dishonored, you might like this book, so maybe check it out. Alright, let's get started. Interrogation. The royal physician Anton Sokolov is now in the custody of the Loyalists. Through Sokolov, it will be possible to strike directly at those closest to the Lord Regent. How cooperative will the most brilliant man in the Empire be? He must be swayed, or coerced, into telling what he knows.
They set up a cell for Sokolov in the old kennel. Shackles and everything. It'll be a shock, him waking up in the straw and old dog poop. But from what I hear, he's woken up worse places. Guess we all have at that.
I've had apartments like that.
Well done, Corporal. Well done. I doubt a dozen soldiers could have done it better. Sokolov's knowledge will enable us to strike at the Lord Regent directly, and ultimately help you get your life back. Soon, we won't have to hide in the shadows. The royal physician is brilliant, but he was a fool to protect the Lord Regent. Sokolov gave us the elixir, the war machines. He could have made us a great nation. Now he pays the price for siding with a tyrant. You have my thanks, sir. If you wish to get some sleep, now is a good time.
Not yet. So it just occurred to me, so if HAVELOCK wants to keep this place secret, and wants to keep all the lights off so no one knows they're there, why are the lights up on the sign on?
I hope they don't have to hurt him. He's done some good in his time.
Doesn't
Made
make
that
sense.
elixir against the plague, he did.
He's got nothing to say. Okay.
I'm working on a new arc pylon. It will perform absolutely stunning acts of destruction, I expect.
Stunning acts of destruction. Very nice.
Normally, I'm a natural philosopher, but today, consider me a humble craftsman here to serve.
Alright, I think we got some, boot stealth upgrade. Definitely get that. Move a little bit more quietly. Oh, and 2. Alright. Crossbow load. Yeah. Top up on those. Although, you know what? I think I probably shouldn't have done that. I got some free ones in my bedroom, I think. I think these. And I think he's got a new audiograph upstairs.
Logic is flawed, anyone can see that. And not an original idea to be heard. His notes are a mess if he even keeps them. How he got this far is anyone's guess. He says what they want to hear. Friend of the rich, that's his method. Sokolov's true genius is pampering the aristocracy. Fools.
Well, whatever works, I guess. Alright, let's go see Emily's tower.
Please be as quiet as you can. It took forever for Emily to fall asleep. Poor dear. It's okay, Emily, I'm here. She seems happier when you're here. Though I know you have important things to do. Out there, in the city.
It's a drawing of Jessamine. Oh, Herbs, that's why she's asleep. Good job, Callista.
Please leave a candle for me. It gets dark in here and I can't see my mother. I just want a candle. Where is Corvo? No! Mother, run! No! Corvo! I don't like your eyes. Why are they so black? Stop looking at me.
Alright, nothing else, I think.
She still has bad dreams. Though it's understandable given all she's been through. Sometimes she calls out your name. Sometimes she cries for her mother.
Alright, Lord Pendleton's reward. Corvo. This matter with my brothers has not been pleasant at all, so we don't wish to discuss it further. However, I really must thank you. I've heard that you found some other means of neutralizing them without taking their lives. Ingenious. Whatever they are, even if they're miserable, they are alive at least. So perhaps someday I will see them again. Lord Trevor Pendleton. It's the only voice I can do, really, so... Yeah, there's those sleep darts. Well, hopefully they'll stay there until I pick them up. Lydia, what do you have to say?
La di da.
Oh, okay.
Di da di da. La di da di da. La
It's a very important lore there.
Di da 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 la di da. Da.
Wallace.
Lord Pendleton has departed for the evening to attend to matters at the manor. It concerns the departure of his brothers. I'm sure you understand. I want you to know I understand your actions with regards to Custis and Morgan. They were horrible men. Lord Pendleton shares little with his brothers, other than name.
Not sure I believe that. Alright, so really hitting the bottles there. Oh, but at least he's eating fruit. That's good. I think there's a new audiograph.
Lord Pendleton Memoirs, Chapter 41, in which I bed two of the Boyle women and only missed the third by virtue of some inclement weather. It was the month of rain, and to counter the gloom, the Boyle ladies hosted 3 nights of merriment by invitation only. Lydia was most fetching in lavender pants and a tunic of yellow silk. She was pleased with me from the moment I walked in the door, with my manservant bringing not 1 but 2 cases of effervescent wine from the south. In fact, I had come laden with gifts, such that all 3 Boyle women soon took notice, and they set out to make me more than welcome. We uncorked the wine right away, and as night fell, we... Wallace! Confound these interruptions.
Lavender pants. Yeah, there are no dresses in this game. Nobody wears dresses. Which is odd, because in the DLC there's a character specifically called the Dressmaker. I wonder what he does. Pendleton votes. Havelock. Bravo, sir! The Lord Regent is furious about losing the most recent vote at Parliament. He was counting on the support of the Pendleton family and expected limited resistance. Just as you said it would, losing the Pendleton voting bloc has really slowed him down. And since the Lord Regent's defense budget failed as well, he's getting desperate financially. It seems that most of the coin he's using to keep the City Watch going is coming from a close ally. We suspect it's a powerful noblewoman who is perhaps his mistress. I'll try to dig up more information, as we know if the watch doesn't get paid and coin and an elixir, their loyalty will start to crumble. Your friend on the inside. That's what I imagine a parliamentarian to sound like, alright?
Don't worry. We won't start the interrogation without you.
Oh, good.
Give me a length of rope and a bucket of seawater. That's all I need to break a man.
I call that a good time.
The royal physician has a subtle mind. He may attempt to trick us.
Where do I find a good meal around here? If you think prison food's bad, you should see what the Abbey serves its captives. I think the overseers make it themselves. I wonder what Piero thinks of our guest.
We're getting closer to reaching our goals, but our position is becoming more dangerous. You don't house and feed a half-dozen people without leaving telltale traces.
Like leaving the lights on up top?
And the looters are going to start gathering once they're sure the plague has burned the place out. I conclude, if our enemies are not dead by the month of wind, we will be. There's a sadness in Emily, but she's strong. Weathering the death of her mother just a half a year ago better than most grown men I've known. Once we take Dunwall Tower, I'll see that her life is better. I've always thought that I'd command the Navy in her name, but sometimes I wonder if I shouldn't just take the title Lord Regent and do it properly.
A little foreshadowing there. Havelock entry 4. He is returning now with Anton Sokolov over his shoulder. Simply amazing. Not only can Corvo project lethal force, he can do an extraction that I didn't think possible. And soon the two greatest minds of the Empire will be here, together. If I could get these rivals to cooperate, they could create weapons and tools of unimaginable power. If I could command both of them, well, I'll wait to measure their dispositions toward one another before following that line of thought. I can't do a Havelock voice. It's not gonna work. I don't think there's a whole lot more. Oh, I think Cecilia has something to say. If we can find her. There she is.
Corvo? Can I tell you something? I have a secret retreat nearby that may come in handy if the city watch ever kicks in the doors. It's an abandoned apartment across the street from the bar. I don't think anyone else here knows about it, but I'm guessing I can trust you. The key is stashed under my bunk upstairs. If there's ever trouble, you can go there for safety. I know I will.
And we can actually go there right now, because there is a bone charm.
Oh, how do you do, sir? I apologize for my state. I could use a long soak in the bath. So relaxing. What a treat that would be,
Not sure how to take that. Actually, I'm exactly sure how to take that. Yeah, there it is. Twist of fortune 1. That's not super useful. Strong arms is the one everyone wants, but with my luck, I get it like right at the end of the game. I think that's all the loot. This is where you come up from at the end of the, here. Oh no, there. At the end of the flooded district mission, that's where you come up from the sewers. Yeah, he's got lights on all over this place. What is he talking about? I think that's it. Anything else?
You're a bold one, Master Corvo, snatching the royal physician like that.
Yes, I am very bold. Alright, let's advance to the next section.
Corvo, wake up! You were making funny faces while you were sleeping. I decided to nap here in your room while Callista was taking her bath. She told me if there's ever trouble, I should always run here. Callista will come get me when she's done with her bath. Thanks, Corvo. It makes me feel better.
Sorry, I'm just checking my notes. I'll make sure I don't miss anything. So another of Emily's drawings here. Some sea life. You got the whale with an oil. This freaking hagfish. I don't think we've seen a black crab. No, it's in this game. Definitely seen the river crest though. Some books. This might be.
Dear Uncle, it's been a while since I've heard from you, and with the way things are going, I can't be sure we'll see each other again. I just wanted to tell you I'm doing well, and I'm safe, for now. My job, caring for a young girl, is better than I expected, though she can be very trying. But I'm treated well. There is enough to eat. I fare better than most, I suppose. We are the last of our family, Uncle Kurnow. We just have to go on living, if we can. May we see each other soon. Your niece, Callista.
Like that. And Piero's got yet another audiograph on his favorite subject.
When Sokolov has
Oh yeah,
passed
definitely.
at his funeral. Something like this, perhaps. Sokolov is dead. Gone forever. We were rivals at the academy, yes. He was jealous of my agile brain and youthful energies. But he's dead now. And what can I say about him? Sokolov, he did improve on some inventions. He did well for himself in his way. He had many admirers among the aristocracy, especially those who lack a solid background in matters of natural philosophy. He was a painter of portraits. They say his work was genius. That remains to be seen. Time will tell.
This guy is salty.
The High Overseer is supposed to be the most pious man in the Empire, living completely in alignment with the Seven Strictures and guiding the people in the religious faction towards spiritual health. Campbell was a farce. If not for all the blackmail material he accumulated, he'd have never been more than a lower-level initiate among Overseers. The Admiral Lord Pendleton and I have already begun using some of what we've learned from Campbell's Black Book, Corvo. You've given us powerful leverage to get the Overseers on our side. I can't thank you enough. I'll speak to you later. I've got to go through Campbell's journal again. It's incredible. A decade of secrets, betrayals, and observations. Now I understand how such a man rose to the top of the Abbey. Good morning, Corvo. I believe Sokolov is awake now. The Admiral is with him now. I'm sure they are ready to start on your arrival.
So Campbell was so awful for doing what he did, which we are now going to do ourselves. Excellent. And here is the infamous scene of this mission.
I know it looks... I was inventing a new kind of lock.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
The tumblers, shaped like snowflakes.
Oh, I see. Yes.
The truth is, there is no snowflake lock.
What?
I was just, you know, looking through the lock.
Why, I never...
I couldn't bear it if she knew. I know you're a man of honor, and I also know that you can kill me at any time. And for both of these reasons, I apologize and beg for your discretion.
So, every streamer I watch playing this game, they always have the same reaction. Oh, Piero, he's so creepy. What a creeper. Peeping Tom. And then they go and do the exact same thing. Every single one. Complete hypocrisy. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to open the door. I'm going to save first. Now let's just go right in. Oh no.
Can't you see I'm about to bathe? Corvo, under other circumstances, I assure you I might welcome your advances. But rats, plague, and tyranny have a way of killing the mood. I can't believe this. When I took this job, they told me I'd work with good men. Ugh, I feel dirtier than when I started.
Okay, now it used to be... If you threw a grenade in here, you could make her stand up, and you can see that she's wearing, she's not, there's no naked Callista model. She's wearing, like, one of those slips that the girls at the Golden Cat wear. You can see it if you use dark vision. Also, if you throw a grenade in there... they changed it. You just kill her. That's much better. It used to be she would stand up, and you can see that she's wearing that costume. But, anyway... Okay, let's go talk to Sokolov.
I hope Sokolov will cooperate. I'd hope to have him paint my portrait again one day. Just me this time. It's not that I object to holding him hostage for a while, since he's been aiding the Lord Regent. But it's a shame. I always found him rather charming.
Remember, we saw all three brothers in that painting before at the Buntings.
Royal physician. I believe you and Corvo knew each other in former days. Unlike you, our friend Corvo knows what loyalty means.
Bah! I am loyal to my inner spirit. You are the one consorting with the most wanted man in the Empire.
It's my belief that Corvo was innocent in the death of the Empress, and the former spy master, or the Lord Regent, as he calls himself, is a ruthless tyrant bent on destroying this city, the heart of the Empire.
You are mistaken if you think there's love between me and our Lord Regent. But whatever you intend to do here, I assure you, I am beyond petty scare tactics.
If I don't scare you, Sokolov, perhaps these rats will. Even if they don't carry plague. I've heard of a swarm of rats stripping a child's body to the bone in half a minute. I've heard worse. How long do you think it'll be before you talk? Before you beg to talk?
Rats? Is that the company you keep now, Admiral?
It's the company you keep that interests us, Sokolov. We know you painted a portrait of the Lord Regent's mistress, the very aristocrat who is funding the military with her fortune. She is the key to the Lord Regent's control over the city, and we must have her name.
Sorry, Admiral. I cannot help you. You're part of this rabble, but I know you have your reasons.
Yes, he does. All we need is the name of the Lord Regent's mistress. It's very simple.
I elect not to tell you. You will have to force the words from me, and I warn you, my willpower is quite legendary.
Spoiler alert, it is not. So let's try both options. Actually, let me do this first.
Curious strategy.
Of which I approve.
Save it.
I could use a drink.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sokolov.
No, not right. Stop! Stop! I will tell you what you need to know.
Didn't take long.
I'm obliged to safeguard Dunwall's greatest intellectual asset. I can only tell you so much. I was not permitted to see her face or hear her full name. She called herself Lady Boyle. You see, I painted her from behind. I assure you, she still makes a striking portrait, but I do not know which Boyle she is. I was to be introduced to her at a masked ball in her honor this very night. But I will miss that party, it seems.
A masked ball at the Boyle estate. Tonight? The timing is perfect, Corvo. But the Boyles are wealthy and ruthless, so security will be very tight.
Of course. You already have a mask, don't you, Corvo?
Yes, you will be able to mingle with them once you're on the grounds. You'll have to find out which of the Boyle women is connected to the Lord Regent, and take her out whatever way you can devise. We're very close now. Corvo, if you do this tonight, we'll be able to strike at the Lord Regent himself and put Emily on the throne. May the wind favor you.
And now let's go back and do the... Whoop! The wrong one. There we go. Now let's do the bribe. And oh, so here's
I could use a drink.
Here's the blackboard for the hound fights. So you see the different dogs lined up there for their matches. I think green is the winner, red's the loser. Sometimes they get killed, and obviously the rest of the matches are canceled after that. So you see some dogs do better than others. Scudder's doing pretty well. Blackie's doing pretty well. Krusty, not so much. Krusty is lost, and Krusty is dead. So, yeah. Bit of interesting lore if you're Michael Vick, I guess. I don't know. And not too much lore, or not too much loot up here, just those two things. I feel like they were going to do something more with this space, but they didn't. There's a lot of space up here, I don't know. A lot not being used for much. We'll do with that.
Not the swill to be found here, but the fine spirit.
So this is interesting. This crank wheel opens that trap door there, but it doesn't do anything. Like the rats don't come from there; they come from this. They come from here, this hound cage. So, not sure what this is for. Maybe they were going to use it for something else, and they just didn't. Now, if you can actually activate console commands for this game, there's a few commands. You can use things like no clip, fly, God mode, and all that. And if you do that, you can go down there, and there's a chute that runs out towards the outer wall.
I had a flask in my studio. Had I known I'd be leaving, I would have grabbed it.
I already read that. Okay. But yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. And the other, there's no outlet on the outside of the wall. It's just, yeah. See, it's just a brick wall, so it's like invisible. That. So I don't know if they were going to use it for something and just didn't.
I'll leave it to you. But if you get tired of questioning Sokolov, I'll let you know that his taste for King Street brandy is legendary.
Aha!
I think Piero has a bottle.
How convenient.
It might help persuade him. If not, well, call me if it gets entertaining.
It didn't get entertaining. It was about half a second and he caved. That map is back. I keep getting it. It keeps coming back.
It's well known that Sokolov is virtually addicted to a rare liquor called King Street brandy. The taste is revolting, but I happen to have a bottle. However, I am reluctant to give it to you for Sokolov. It cost me quite a lot. It is very expensive stuff, a blend of rare Pendleto'Ns spices and a drop of whale oil. Would you care to purchase it?
I love the cadence of Brad Dourif's voice. He's like the anti-William Shatner. Just no space in between certain sentences, and it works perfectly. Alright, here's your
I
booze.
assume we will continue this soon. King Street brandy? I didn't know any more existed. It is an extraordinary gift. I see I'm dealing with men of taste. I can tell you this much. She was always referred to as Lady Boyle. I painted her to be sure, but I never saw her face or learned her first name. You see, I painted her from behind. I assure you, she still makes a striking portrait. But I do not know which Boyle she is. I was to be introduced to her at a masked ball in her honor this very night. But I will miss that party, it seems.
A masked ball at the Boyle estate. Tonight, the timing is perfect.
I already heard that. But one thing that's really neat is, so this dialogue, it's the same dialogue as when we tortured him or threatened him. It's the same words, but it's a different recording. It's a different take with a totally different tone. So really nice attention to detail there.
I hear you're off to the Boyles' little bash tonight. I have just a tiny favor I'd like to ask.
Everybody can put huge
Could
bottles
you give this note to Lord Shaw?
inside their clothes. Or inside their
You'll
bodies.
know him.
It's kind of
A
eerie.
rather brusque man wearing a wolf's mask. In fact, he may be looking for me.
Alright, I think that's pretty much all we can do here. There's a little bit of dialogue
Have you ever
here.
been in a sea battle?
Of course.
Did you ever see pirates? And did you sink any?
Of course. Dozens. Oh, yes. But that's not for young girls to hear about.
But I will be Empress, won't I? And then I'll have to sink lots of enemy ships myself. And that's what Empresses do mostly, isn't it?
Of course.
I knew it! I read that some pirate ships have witches aboard that can cause storms and make whales do what they want. Is that true?
Yes. Mostly. Maybe we should be quiet now.
That's another good idea
Very
for
well.
a third game. The Witch Pirates.
Everything's so fancy at the Golden Cat, but in a different way than the palace was fancy. The old Madame Prudence said that all the ladies are princesses and the men come to admire them. My doll, Mrs. Pilson, was there the day my mother died. We both saw it. I bet Mrs. Pilson would have liked it there. I hope she's safe, wherever she is. If I ever see my doll again, I'm going to declare a holiday across the Empire.
So, okay, so there are a lot of dolls up in her room, but apparently only one of them is the Mrs. Pilson. Even though they're all identical. Okay, let's go.
A masked ball. You happen to have the most clever mask of them all. Entering a hive of aristocrats, all who live to kiss the Lord Regent's backside. I'd rather swim with the hagfish. Lord Pendleton
I've done
is an
that.
exception, of course.
Oh, of course he is. We'll see.
The Boyle costume ball, huh? Well, that'll be fun, but not for everybody. You ready?
I love when he says that. Just the way he says it makes me crack up. Well, that'll be fun, but not for everybody. Alright, Lady Boyle's party. You've learned that the Lord Regent's strongest supporter is Lady Boyle. However, 3 women in the Boyle family are referred to as Lady Boyle, the wife of the late Lord Boyle and her sisters. Sokolov painted Lady Boyle from behind, under unusual circumstances, and does not know which is actually the Lord Regent's ally. You're being sent to the posh Boyle estate on the night of a costume party in order to determine which Lady Boyle you must eliminate. I think that's actually wrong in the, I don't know, official canon, I guess. I think all 3 Boyles are sisters. So I think they changed this at some point and didn't update this text here.
The Lord Regent's pulling out all the stops for the Boyle family. I didn't think there'd be tall boys patrolling here tonight. Watch yourself, Corvo. They don't fool around. The good news is, once you get to the party, that mask of yours will let you blend right in. Enjoy your evening out with a cloak of quality. Better you than me.
Alright, so there's our first look at the tall boys. And there's the Glock Tower. This is about as close as we can get to it in this game. So let's start actually on the other side of this canal.
Attention citizens, please clear the streets. This area is restricted to invited guests only, by request of the local landowners. Unauthorized intruders will be expelled or apprehended on site.
So this street is called Barcroft Court.
So, she was supposed to sing that evening in the garden, but she lost her voice right at the start.
Let's listen to these guards.
And that's a crime?
Wait for it. A couple of overseers were passing, and they had one of their, you know.
The music boxes.
So she stopped singing as they passed, and...
And they thought she was a witch.
You should have seen it. Ran right through the rose bushes and tackled her. Dragged her back to that abbey.
And they call us stupid.
We had to get a notarized letter from the Regent himself to get her back. But she hasn't been the same since.
I'm not surprised. I've heard stories.
She won't talk about it. One of these days I'm going to take one of those zealots apart myself.
I'll be right behind you.
So the ongoing enmity between the City Watch and the overseers. Don't think there's much here. No. And this is Greasley Boulevard. Oh, I forgot these guys were over here. There's a Weeper there in the corner. This building is infested with Weepers, so you gotta move carefully. This building is actually Granny Rags' old home. There's a shrine in there. I think there's a Weeper in the corner. Go away, he doesn't live here anymore. Nobody lives here anymore. There's the shrine, but let's go up here. And there are some... It's a mostly non-lethal playthrough. I'd like to try and drop assassin these guys. Ah, I missed. Alright, well, let's try that again. Alright.
Where are you? I know you're here. No, I'll find you.
Oh, oh man. This is embarrassing. It's just so satisfying to get these guys. There we go, look at that. And drop down. Nice. There's no way to do a non-lethal takedown of those guys, unfortunately. They're heavily drugged, so you know, typical, you know, sleep darts don't work on them. I mean, they're armored anyway too. All right, so here's a shrine. It's got a rune.
Going to a party, Corvo? Is that what you dreamed of? All those months in Coldridge Prison while waiting for the executioner? Wealth, beautiful women in the latest fashions, laughing and drinking Tivian wine. And what of the host, Lady Boyle? I can see all her tomorrows, and I know that either she dies tonight at your hand, or she'll live out her days, month after month, year after year, far away, even as her fine clothes wear into tatters and her silken hair gets dull and gray. Half the city can see the lights from the party, and they dream of the delights inside. Will you tear it all to pieces? Either way, it's Lady Boyle's last party.
And there's a bone charm in here, on top of this rotten corpse. Dreary, dreary, dreary. And here's Grinny Rags' diary. Is there another Weeper coming? Granny Rags' diary. I can't trust him. You can't love what you don't trust. That's the song the birdies sing when the weather turns cold and forces them out of their nice homes they built. Nice homes spoiled and ruined. Useless now. So the birdies hate the weather that betrayed them. They fly away to look for new homes that aren't so cold and dreary, dreary, dreary. I'm leaving too. My valise is packed. So dreary everywhere I look. I can't bear it anymore. So Granny Rags used to live here. And I don't know if she lived here when she was known as Vera Moray. It's hard to believe that aristocrats would live in one apartment in an apartment building. It's hard to believe there'd be an apartment building in this district, but so maybe she moved here later, before she moved to the distillery district. This is Mintry Street, right here, and it continues past this barrier, which we cannot get to. Come down into this this area over here. The Estate District. From a historical overview of the Estate District. Home to some of the most powerful families in Dunwall, the Estate District has been a jewel in the city's crown for generations. No district enjoys finer restaurants or cultural events, and no families inspire more admiration or more gossip than the lords and ladies of the Estate District. The late Lord Boyle and his lovely wife perhaps best epitomize this privileged class of citizens. Their annual costume ball is the talk of high society, creating ripples throughout Dunwall when one family or another is excluded from the guest list. But it's not all play that drives the Boyles. On several occasions, they've generously brought in poor laborers from elsewhere in the city for a week or two to work on their garden or home, providing vital employment for those who need it most. Job creators. With so much history, the Estate District has also seen its share of trouble as fortunes are made and lost. The great Lord Preston Moray and his eccentric wife Vera were once the toast of Dunwall before tragedy struck and they fell into ruin. Riddled with canals and large homes that enjoy historical preservation tax breaks, the Estate District is a place to which we can all aspire. You say so. Alright, nothing else here, I think. Oh, interesting thing about these lights. So you may remember in the Golden Cat mission, Custis was complaining about Waverly finding crystal deposits on her land that made her even richer. So those crystals are actually used in these floodlights. They call them rat lights for obvious reasons. So each one of these lights includes some crystal that is supplied by
I'll earn another promotion.
Supplied by the Boyles. Seems to making them their latest fortune. That's why Custis is kind of jealous of that. All the way over here. There's actually a rune somewhere down here. Oh, there we go. And yeah, this is the closest we can get to the clock tower in the game. But as I mentioned previously, if you use console commands, you can no-clip and fly up there. Let me see if I can get a... I'm not going to do it. It takes too long to set up commands. Jeez, I can't even get on top of this thing. Alright. Yep, so this is as close as we can get to the clock tower, but if you fly up there, it's the same level of detail. It doesn't get any higher resolution than this. So it's just it's actually a pretty basic model. The flag is just this blue rectangle. You would have thought they'd replace that with a red one for the region, but yeah, all this area out here is sort of, it looks like a vast distant cityscape. But if you go over there using the commands, it's just like two-dimensional images. I mean, it's what you expect for a game. It's once you fly past it, you can see that they're just flat models, and very strategically placed. And once you get outside them, you can see there's nothing there. Right, so there are many ways to get into the property, and this is kind of the easiest. Just jump over there. You can also come through this little grate, or this little tunnel, break the boards, and you can come through this way if you can sneak back past that tall boy. And there's a guard down at the end of there. Nothing to say.
Why, it's a fortress. Have you ever been...
Oh, there went my invitation.
And there goes the invitation.
Don't chase after that. You don't know what's in those buildings.
No place is safe anymore. I don't understand what's happened to this city.
some dialogue.
Oh, yes.
These guys.
They're going to wear the same costume in different colors, and we're meant to guess. Another of their eccentric fancies. I suppose we've no choice but to play.
It's going to be brilliant.
It's going to be inexpressibly tiresome.
If you're not going to have fun, maybe you should go home.
I'll struggle on once we locate the wine.
Harold takes pride in being difficult.
As much as you take in being easy.
Shall we go in?
Emma insisted we meet her out by the curb.
Well, I'm going to catch plague and die waiting out here.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Why don't you wait here, as any gentleman would, and we'll go inside and make nasty remarks about Emma's style. Or lack of it.
Well, we know I'm no gentleman, so you might as well make them here.
You have to feel sorry for her. She's only here to ask for a handout.
She must be desperate. When have the Boyles ever given anything away? Maybe she hopes she'll win the game. Life is so boring. I'd die without gossip.
We'll probably die anyway, waiting for Emma.
I'll drink to that.
Which part?
Any of it. By damn, I want some wine.
And here we see a model of the rail car. We've seen a couple times. We never really get to see one in action. But there's one of them. So if you didn't pick up the invitation from Bunting's safe, you can take this one. You only need one, you don't need both, but that will allow you to walk right in the front door, pretending to be Bunting.
Oh, that's an awful mask. Where can I get one?
Piero!
Are you looking forward to the party?
Yes, I am.
Pendleton? Is that you?
Yes, it is I.
Invitation, please. Right this way, sir.
So that's the most straightforward way of getting in.
Ah, Mr. Bunting. You just had someone here pretending to be you. Welcome.
So that'd be the actual Bunting without his invitation.
Another party game. It was fun.
Think
for
you'll
a
get your own
season, but
squad after what
now-
happened last night?
Never doubt.
Guess which is which. Their hair and makeup are identical, but one's in red, one's in black, one's in
They
white.
really want us to know about
There's
this
a
game.
prize at the end. The Boyle cameo.
As if they don't get enough attention. Then again, the cameo is worth a lot.
Doesn't Esma's bedroom have a balcony? If you could get up there, I bet you could find something.
More likely I'd end up in Coldridge Prison. The city watch is everywhere tonight. But at least you're thinking.
There must be another way. Waverly likes to be seen in red.
Which everyone knows.
Actually, let me
You know, I hear...
just reload and start from here again and look at some other ways in. So if we come down here, stay out of the sight of the tall boy. Don't see me, don't see me.
He's cunning. Will be again. Oh, I'll find you.
Oh, he saw me. That's okay, we're there. So you can come in this building, and this building is infested with weepers. So, in that little corner there, so if you blink past them, come up the stairs. Actually, a good amount of loot in this building. Sustained rage. Don't think I'll need that one. Okay, and this building is right next to this one. So, and now you could, if you wanted, blink over there and just go right over the fence and into the grounds. But I am going to come in this way. So this is the guard quarters for the guards that are providing security for the party. So you can walk right down, put away your weapons, because because they will notice. And you're on the party grounds, the estate
party's
grounds.
Indoors this time.
And if you
Another
come
party
down here-
game. It was fun for a season, but now?
What is it tonight?
Ah, Mr. Bunting.
Guess which is which.
Just had someone here
Your hair and
pretending to
makeup
be
are
you.
identical.
Welcome.
But one's in red, one's in black, one's in white. There's a prize at the end. The Boyle cameo.
As if they don't get enough attention. Then again, the cameo is worth a lot.
Doesn't Esma's bedroom have a balcony? If you could
Welcome, sir. Oh, and we have a game tonight. Esma, Lydia, and Waverly are wearing identical costumes in white, black, and red. You'll have to work out which of your hosts is wearing which color. Good luck.
There must be another way. Waverly likes to be seen in red.
Which everyone
Now,
knows.
if you can get this guy to see you... Wait, let's get some here. If you can get this guy to see you... Oh!
Just thinking out loud here.
Did it too quickly. Let me try it. Let me try it now. Whatever the most recent save is. Oh, perfect.
And
Okay.
makeup are identical, but one's in red, one's in black, one's in
Let's
white.
try this again.
There's a prize at the end. The Boyle cameo.
As if they don't
Welcome,
get enough
sir.
attention.
Oh,
Then
and
again,
we have
the
a game
cameo is
tonight. Esma, Lydia, and Waverly are wearing identical costumes in white, black, and red. You'll have to work out which of your hosts is wearing which color. Good luck.
More likely I'd end up in Coldridge Prison. The City Watch is everywhere tonight. But at least you're thinking.
There must be another way. Waverly likes to be seen in red.
Which everyone knows. Too
Okay.
obvious. You know, I...
My apple! Who do you think you are?
Finally, got that.
Flatter yourself.
Just thinking out loud, dear.
That's funny. All these little dialogue things. It's so easy to get them accidentally, but when you try to do it, it just it doesn't happen. All right, so there's one more way I want to show to get in. I mean, there are multiple ways to get in, but here's one more that I have actually not done yet. So bear with me. If we jump into this canal, it's called the Serpentine Canal. It doesn't look very serpentine to me, though. It looks pretty straight. I don't know. If you find a fish... Well, don't have to find a fish. They found us. So if you possess a fish... you can swim right through those bars. And now you're kind of in the sewer area underneath the mansion. And if I can get out of the water. And you can go in this way. Now we are in the cellar underneath the mansion. So there are many ways to get in. I think that's where I'm going to stop for now. And I'll pick up with the second half of the mission in the next video. Okay. Thanks a lot.